What is going on, and welcome back to Bourbon of the Week. My name's Chris. I'm going to be your host for today, and today we got a fun one for you. This is Broken Halo Bourbon. This is a Texas 4-year-old barrel strength straight bourbon whiskey coming in at 115 proof. And I like doing reviews like this because everybody's reviewing all of the big stuff, right? All of the brand new stuff coming out from the top distilleries, people are reviewing. But these hidden gems sometimes are the fun ones to review to let people know what you can find out there outside of the major distilleries. So we're going to pour this up. We're going to put this through the gauntlet: price, taste, drinkability. We got a little bit of information for you during our bourbon bomb of the week, and let's try this out. Broken Halo 4-year-old Texas bourbon. I love Texas bourbon because even though this is a 4-year age statement on this, I can promise you that it's still probably going to come with a bunch of flavors because you don't need a lot of time down in that Texas heat. Everybody knows before we get started, time for the traditional sip. Cheers, y'all. This one's unique. So first things first, this is from War Trail Spirits. They are Instagram Broken Halo Bourbon on TikTok. They are from Texas. This is Lori and Bernard, and they are a husband and wife, and they put out, this is batch 10A, by the way, bottle 1198, distilled in Texas, War Trail Spirits, LLC. And this is interesting because, again, when you talk about Texas whiskey, we know a couple of the bigger names down in Texas, but when you talk about Texas whiskey, people don't understand that you don't need 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years in the barrel to really get a lot of flavor behind it. You can get that in the 3, 4, 5 year range, and that's what they're doing with this particular release right here. Price, taste, drinkability. We always start with drinkability on this, and I think that's where this bottle is going to shine. Now, I think the flavor profile is good. There's nothing off-putting about it, but I do think it's unique, and it's not going to be for everybody. But let's talk about drinkability first. 115 proof. How does this sip when it comes to the ethanol? You know, it's funny, there's certain lineups that always drink a little bit hotter than I think they should. 1792 is one of the examples that I always give just because it's something that everybody seems to know. They always drink hot. Now, they make up for that when it comes to the flavor profile. This one here, I feel like this lineup is going to be one, and this is only the first time that I drank this, but they mentioned it in this that they sent me. It drinks under its proof, and that's absolutely right. 115 proof, I might blind this at 105. With 10 proof points difference, that's huge, especially in that 110 to 115 range, right? 130 drinking like 120, still 10 proof points different. It's just kind of, once you get to 120 plus, they all kind of drink a little bit hot. But at 115 proof, to drink like 105, maybe 107, that 10, 8 proof points difference is kind of crazy. It's a dangerous sipper. I would put this on my crushable scale. We haven't put a lot of whiskeys on the crushable scale recently because a lot of them are 130 and they drink 120, like I said, and that's still like fantastic, right? That it drinks 10 proof points lower, but I'm not crushing 120. 115 that drinks like 105, that I'm crushing. 105 is crazy for this 115 proof. I'm going to give this a great score when it comes to drinkability. We're going to go like 8.86 when it comes to drinkability on this. Not many in this frame, right? That 110 to 120 range that drink that much lower than their proof. Up next, we're going to get a taste on this, and I had to pour up a little bit more, and I hate doing this, but I have to be honest with myself. It feels ever so slightly on the tail end of this like a rubbing ethanol type of flavor on this, and it's just there for a half of a second and then it's gone, and the rest of the flavors are just so good. I just can't get that rubbing ethanol-y flavor out of my profile here. And it says right here, orange creamsicle, I agree with. I get that vanilla-y, orangey flavor profile. Caramels, obviously, hit of caramel corn, way gentler than its proof. I mentioned that they said that, and a very, very long finish. I agree with that. And let's talk about this though, because this is 80% corn, 20% rye, no malted barley on purpose. Malted barley interacts with Texas heat after about 2 to 2.5 years and becomes a little too tannic and dusty for our taste. And that I like. I like that they didn't take that route because, again, if you get that Texas heat for too long, you're going to get that tannic, that oaky flavor, that profile that I don't truly love. Some people may, but I don't truly love it. But everything else in this glass, minus that half of a second of a little bit of a note that I don't truly love, I like in this glass. And it's like one of those things where it's like, do I let that half of a second really destroy this entire glass for me? Or do I just say, hey, it's something that's in this particular release, or it's something that's in this particular bottle, and you kind of just move past it and enjoy everything else that's in this glass that you do like? And it's weird because right there on that sip, I don't get it. It's like every other sip. It's like every once in a while, it kind of just bleeds through here. I like this glass a lot. I think it has its flaws. I don't want to say it tastes young because, again, we already talked about 4 years in Texas is plenty. I don't want to say it tastes young. It almost, like I said at the beginning, just tastes unrefined. And I don't really know how to explain that other than telling you that it just like, it's got sharp edges. I like a nice roller coaster ride. It's got the spiciness. It's got those vanillas. It's got those caramels, that orange note on this. that creamsicle that it talks about. It's got all of that, right? It's got what should be waves, but it's kind of more like, here's a flavor, here's a flavor, here's a flavor, here's a flavor. And I don't really like that when it comes to my bourbon. I still think it's a good glass of whiskey. It's above a 7 point, it's above average when it comes to a whiskey. One more sip and then we'll give you a score. I think it's something you should try, especially when we talk about price on this. And full disclosure, they did send me this bottle. And it's nice because now I can follow this company, right? So not only will I follow them on their social medias and all that, but like I'll keep an eye out because I'll write it down in my book and be like War Trail or Broken Halo. And I'll start following them to see what they're going to do next, right? Because these smaller craft distilleries have the opportunity to put out like releases where you can get Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, which they do releases and stuff like that. And they're also, they change from one to the next, but everybody's buying them. This is one where I'll wait on something. They'll put something out that'll catch my eye, and because I'm following them on social media or because I'm checking in on them, I'll be like, that one, if they did what I wanted them to do in this release, in that release, then I'll buy that release. So again, check them out on all their social medias. I'll put that link in the description below. I'm gonna go right above a 7 on this. I'm gonna go like 7.08 when it comes to the taste profile on this, just because that uniqueness, it's not my favorite, but it's also not off-putting in any way. So 7.08. And last but certainly not least, we're gonna be quick about this one. The price on this is $59. Folks, I cannot stress enough that we need to stop spending the $400, $500 on bottles of whiskey. I can't stress it enough. I don't know why or how I do know why and how companies are getting away with it, because people are still buying them. I get it. There's special releases, there's limited editions, it's in every market right now, right? Take advantage of it when you can, but I feel like we've got to get back to the days of that quote unquote shelf whiskey price. That price where I can go out and I don't have to be afraid to spend the money, because if I don't like that bottle of whiskey, I can turn it into old fashions, and I only wasted $59 on this particular release. And again, try before you buy is always a recommendation for me. If you're in the Texas area and you have an opportunity to try this, or if this is in your local market, because they are in 60 liquor stores and then outside of Texas available through the third-party shipper through our website, wartrailspirits.com. You can try to get this bottle that way. For 59 bucks, shipping, I don't know, I didn't look it up, probably 20 bucks if I had to guess. Even for $79, it's worth it to just try it. I think it's a pretty good glass of whiskey. I think it's unique compared to other things on the shelf, which seems to be mundane these days. Everything at this price point seems to taste exactly the same, and I like it because that's the flavor profile that I normally enjoy, but it's also nice to come across something that's a little bit unique. So I can't be mad at the price on this. Again, the drinkability, out of this world, phenomenal. The taste on this, it's unique. It's something that some people are going to love, some people are going to hate, and a lot of people are going to fall right in the middle on this, and they're going to be like, yeah, that's a decent glass of whiskey, but it's nothing crazy special. That's kind of how I feel about this. So when it comes to price, 7.0 with an average tasting whiskey with average drinkability and an average price point of $75 to $90. This is under that average price point, so I gotta go like high 7s on this. 7.62 when it comes to the price on this. I don't think it's a bad price at all. But listen, let's send it over to a quick bourbon bomb of the week, talk about what they tell me right here, and then we'll get to our final score. Cheers, y'all. So for our bourbon bomb of the week, I'm kind of just going to give you a rundown of what they told me right here, because I think it's interesting, starting with the beginning. Uniquely, Lori is the distiller. By the way, this is my wife, Lori, and I, Bernard, are the owner of War Trail Spirits. Uniquely, Lori is the distiller, making us one of the few female-run distilleries out there. Love that. Women in whiskey, absolutely fantastic. Our passion is creating a 100% Texas bourbon product, and we are very involved in the Texas whiskey movement, including the Texas Whiskey Trail. Say that 5 times fast. By the way, I didn't even know there was a Texas Whiskey Trail out there. I would love to get down there and try that out. Texas is much more complicated to age in than other parts of the country, as the heat here is intense and summers are 8 to 9 months long. Even the winters are mild. This accelerates the aging of bourbon. As a general rule, it is 2 to 3 times faster. So your 4-year is really an 8 to 12 year faster than Kentucky, Tennessee, New York, PA, shout out PA, Indiana, simply due to the whiskey interaction with the wood. We also lose more than other geographical locations to the angel share / devil cuts due to the heat, which means they're losing more and still putting it out at a pretty good price. We wanted to make upscale approachable. Our MSRP on this is $59, a barrel strength that you drink, not just show off, which again, barrel strength whiskey, they didn't water this down to 92 proof or anything like that. So again, I like everything that they're doing. I love this story. I love the wife and husband story. I love the 100% Texas story. I love trying to bridge the gap between Kentucky and Texas. I love this bottle right here. It's just one of those stories that I'm definitely going to follow along with. But listen, let's get down to the nitty gritty, and this came in at a 7.85, a very good score for a 4-year-old Texas whiskey. I gotta be honest with you, I've only tried 2 or 3 other brands from Texas. We all know their names, but this is one that I'm definitely going to keep an eye on going forward. And listen, if you made it this far in the video, make sure you click that like and subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Make sure you check out War Trail Spirits, aka Broken Halo. Go follow them on all their social medias and check out their website, that link in the description below. As always, check me out on Instagram at Bourbon of the Week. Go click that follow button over there. Please don't drink and drive. Always drink responsibly. Stay healthy, stay happy, and stay checking out 4-year-old Texas whiskey, because I promise you, it's more like an 8-year-old Kentucky. Cheers, y'all.